If you've been around my channel for a bit, you've probably noticed that I like Airdribble hoops. It's probably my most played custom map. Well, Thunder Surge has created a whole new version of it that is much more challenging. If you haven't heard of Thunder Surge, he's a speedrunner, map maker. I'll put a link in the description, go check him out. But this is the map that he created. It's basically the same as the original, except every level has been scaled way up. Some of the levels are much longer, some are much taller. And the last level is just absolutely nuts. So obviously I have to give this map a try. So let's jump into it and see how it goes. Well, I guess there goes Deathless. That's such a quick start. I think one of the big challenges for me is going to be switching to the new way I have to airdribble with the increased dead zones. Even when I get used to where the joysticks are, I'm used to low dead zones and moderate sensitivities, so I can make really small adjustments very quickly and accurately. But with the bigger dead zones, which I kind of want to get used to for things like stalls and flip cancels and whatnot, which I couldn't really do before. The problem with those is my adjustments don't take as quickly and they're much more coarse. So I think I need to be making like larger movements a little more regularly. I think this is one of the first levels people are going to struggle with as well. So far it's just been like stretching the levels out, and so the setups are the same, but the airdribbles get a little longer, or taller, but in this case, the challenge isn't really the airdribble being long. The challenge is when you're airdribbling, you want to be looking up so that you can see where you're touching on the ball. And for this level, if you're looking up and the level's just really far out, it's difficult to see exactly where you're going and where you need to bring the ball to without looking down. So you kind of have to start using other things as reference points. Like I'm trying to aim to the right of the 7 goal because I can see that when I'm looking up. And then I'm going to have to kind of drop the ball and guess where I am and try and control it on the way down, which is a whole nother level of air dribbling compared to just gaining height. Which I was much more comfortable with on my older controller. Or probably even on this controller with the different dead zones, but I want to learn these new dead zones. Yeah, like that's something I should normally be able to recover. But my movements are just too inaccurate right now. That's kind of why I want to play this. Just several thousand hours of muscle memory to rebuild. I kind of like that these levels are very open-ended in the way that you can get there. It doesn't have to be a picture-perfect air dribble. As long as you're gaining height, you can come back to it. Well, this one I'm going to drop because that's just not what I want to be doing with the ball. These vertical air dribbles are interesting because you want to be mostly on the ball for a good chunk of it, so that you can respond quickly and keep the momentum going. But obviously, the closer you get to the ball when you're boosting up, the more likely it is you mess up a touch. And then you end up flying by the ball and pushing it like off to the side where you can't really recover without losing a whole ton of momentum. So I think those are the ones where I'm definitely going to be feeling the dead zones change. I'm a fan of the new skybox though. I like the different texture. One of the things I notice on this level, people tend to get wrong most is they don't let the ball settle before they start to pop it, which gives really inconsistent bounces, and it's much harder to follow that kind of a setup. I shouldn't be trying to recover this, but I need the practice getting used to this new configuration. It's funny, I think this level is actually potentially easier than it used to be. Back when it was you didn't have to gain that much height, but the rim was like right above you. Because if you didn't flick that, that was a really small profile to gain that height in. And I feel like you had to be much more precise with your air dribble. I think you need to be feathering the boost a little more on the way up because I'm not tilting my nose as accurately as I need to be. And so when I'm a little bit off, it becomes very difficult to recover if I'm just pushing past the ball. Alright, good enough. Yeah, so far all these setups are the same, which is kind of nice. Just the goals are moved Yeah, so far it's been not too bad. The biggest challenges have been these levels where you can't really see where you're going. I think it's going to be another one of them, honestly. Yeah, we're way over there, which isn't bad for an air dribble, but having to figure out where you're going down as you're looking up is challenging. I think I'm going to be mostly using the level 13 goal. Oh, that was close, actually. The level 13 goal, the boost trail, and maybe the ball trail to figure out what direction I'm heading. I remember when I was doing the Eversax Airdribble playthrough. Eversax did a reaction video, which was super fun to watch. And that was one of the comments he made, was how difficult it is to see where I'm going when I'm air dribbling. And in that map, it was kind of funny that the cloud patterns were unique enough in certain spots of the map that I could just memorize the patterns in the skybox and use that to figure out where I'm going. But the cloud patterns aren't as distinctive. Yeah, I'm too far. I could air dribble this with it stuck to my nose again, but I think the problem I'm gonna run into there is I'm gonna get more disoriented spinning around the ball. I'm not gonna have like my boost trail or the ball trail potentially to help me figure out where I'm going. Alright, so we're gonna try not as much height this time. And breaking out of the juggle into more of a standard air dribble once we get close. What a recovery. Those dead zones are making that super difficult. I don't know if you could tell, but like the number of times I had the ball back under control, and then one corner of my car was just a touch too high, and it killed all the momentum, and I had to start all over again. Alright, this one might not be as bad. Do we use a standard dribble on this? This one feels shorter than 11 for some reason. Not sure if it actually is, but... there we go. I used to have a really fun freestyle on this. I wonder if it's still available. I imagine it should be because the setup is the same. Well, we'll give it one or two more shots and then just go back to standard. There we go. I want to get a spin off the ball before I really settle it on my nose, because that makes it much harder to air dribble with, but I think I settled it too early. Alright, let's see what these levels are up to. Well, it's kind of nice. They moved it back, apart from just going straight up. I feel like it's a bit more forgiving, gives you a little more room to gain the height as well. I don't know why, for some reason I was thinking the ramp would extend all the way up. There's a fun pogo spot on top of the ramp for 15. Uh-oh. Nice. Wasn't sure if I had the flip off the rim there. Glad I did. Need to be careful about not making enough movements on the way up. Losing a ton of momentum. Letting my nose rise a little too high. Yeah, maybe I just need to do a little more spiraling. I don't know why I'm dropping frames like that though. I'm sure it's placebo, but it feels like every time I'm dropping frames is like the most critical time in a recovery. Oh, that's right, 17 just drops. Close. Yeah, I'm really feeling those dead zone differences. The climbing, my movements are much less precise. I think I need to start imposing more of a pattern on the climb. Wow, doesn't get closer than that. Is that more consistent? It is. I wonder if we could still score in the back of the net. Yeah. The goal trigger overlaps the backboard on, I think, most of these. Too much height again. Close. That's a better height gain. Now if we could just cut that and push straight up, we'll be good. Maybe we can recover. Too much height though. Should probably take a break. This level is taking me way longer than it should. This isn't one of the most difficult ones in the map. We've done harder in only a few attempts. We're kind of close to the end, so. That's always been my problem with air dribbling. Like, I can air dribble for like 5 or 10 minutes straight, but after that I have like no focus. And my movements just start getting really lazy and delayed. Okay, now we just pretend that never happened. Wait a minute, is this a strat? Kinda. I feel like this is that difficult of an air dribble, but... yeah, I probably should have just stuck with that in the first place. Where are we? Here's it. We up at the top? I think so. Yeah, I'm definitely at that point where I need to be taking a break, but so close to the end. Oh, that's it, way over there, isn't it? It'll probably take a couple minutes just to fly there. I was gonna say now, the most difficult thing about this level is gonna be knowing where I'm going, because that's a long ways away with no landmarks. So we're about halfway on that. kind of wonder if I air dribble this whole thing much slower, if I can use the map as a reference point. It's just so difficult to see where you're going. Like if there was some sort of a guiding system, like some pillars or some lights or something to kind of show you you're headed in the right direction, or just like a big landmark over there. I mean, that might work. Oh, that was actually really close. We're in the vicinity. I think I should probably take a break, get my air dribbles back, and then I think we can do it. I'm never playing that level again. The rest were fun. But wow, that's just wow. That was about like 4 or 5 minutes of air dribbling and checking directions and recovering. Not gonna lie, I had to cheat a little bit. I had to change my dead zones back because the amount of recovery I had to do on that was just, that would have taken forever on my new dead zones. So I ended up back to my old settings. Just for the record, this is what I'm using currently. I had some people asking in the last video. Anyway, thanks for watching. That was a lot of fun, except the last level. Probably do something similar in the future, maybe freestyle some of these levels. Add some spin the wheel random challenges from this level, or from this map. Yeah, thanks for watching. Have a good one.